Hello everyone. I thought I should do a video cast here for the chapter 13 problem that I did in class 13.2. That was not my best effort in class today. I think I did more confusion than clarity. So I want to do a screencast here to kind of clarify a few things, and hopefully it will help you. So problem 2 is on page 459 of your textbook, and you're going to use the existing data from the solved problem, the Neo Industries problem. That is the one that we actually did in class, and you're assuming that they are going to use overtime production to meet demand schedule, and the wage rate is $24 per hour for overtime. Also, we're going to compute the cost of a chase plan using a stable workforce of 300, which you can interpret that to mean that they are not going to hire or fire workers. So key pieces of information from the problem are that the overtime production rate is $24 per hour, and they're going to maintain a stable workforce of 300 workers. Pages 457 to 459 of your text give you the solved problem Neo Industries information, and key information that you'll need for problem 2 are the fact that the company begins inventory with 1 million jeans in safety stock, and they want to keep inventory levels consistent so that they have ending inventory of 1 million pairs of jeans. Other relevant pieces of information from the solved problem that you're going to need for problem 2 are the demand schedule, which I've highlighted here, the inventory cost is $10 per pair of jeans per quarter, the regular wage rate of $16 per hour, and of course the problem gave us the overtime rate of $24 an hour, which would be time and a half. If you take this times 1.5, you would come up with the $24 per hour. Additional information that's important, and this is the part that I skipped over in class that I should not have done, is down here at the bottom where it talks about an average worker earns $8,000 per quarter. If they work 500 hours in the quarter times $16 per hour, and they produce 20,000 pairs of jeans, which that was given to us up here, that means that the regular production labor cost is 40 cents per unit. So that will be important when we calculate the regular aggregate production wages. Also, this 40 cents per unit, if overtime is time and a half, we could multiply 40 cents times 1.5, and that would mean that the overtime cost is 60 cents per unit, which is just 0.40 times 1.5 will give us 60 cents per unit. The way I would solve the problems that are assigned this week is I would set up a table like this in Excel. In fact, this template for plan problem 13.2 is actually the template that I had put underneath the week 11 assignment tab in Moodle. So it looks just like this, but let's walk through how to complete it. So the problem data told us that beginning and ending inventory is going to be 1 million pairs of jeans, so that's where I would start. So I would insert the beginning inventory, and then I would just copy it down, because you know that they want to keep beginning and ending inventory level. I would do the same thing with ending inventory, copy it down for all 4 quarters, and that will give us, the spreadsheet is already formatted so it totals what ending inventory is for the quarter. Actually, that's the total for all 4 quarters, so it's for the period that we're doing our production plan for. The next thing I would do is I would fill out the demand schedule, and again, this came right from the problem data, so I would insert that in, and of course it's pre-formatted so that it does the total for the period. Next thing I would do is insert the regular production. The problem told us that they want to keep regular production at 6 million, so they're always going to produce the same amount each quarter. So if we drag that down, then we're going to have 24 million pairs produced from regular production. Problem also told us that they want to keep a stable workforce of 300 workers, so they don't want to do any hiring or firing to meet the demand schedule. So I would insert that information, 300 workers, they're not going to do any hiring or firing, and I would drag that down for the 4 quarters. Now this company has chosen to meet the demand by using overtime, so any demand that they cannot meet with regular production, they're going to use overtime to meet that difference. So for quarter 1, the demand is 6 million pairs, their production is 6 million, so they don't need any overtime for quarter 1. Quarter 2, demand is 9 million, regular production is 6 million, so we could just set up a little formula. Demand minus regular production will give us overtime, and so if I do that, it gives me the answer. 3 million is what I'm going to need to produce with overtime. If I drag that little formula down to the other cells, it will automatically calculate the overtime production, and so then it also totals what my production that is going to be using overtime, what that encompasses as far as number of pairs of jeans. So now that we have our production numbers from the table, now we can compute the actual costs. And first we want to calculate regular production cost, and the way we do that is the number of pairs of jeans produced by regular production times the 40 cents per pair that the problem information gave us will give us regular production cost of 9,600,000. And just for reference, that 40 cents per unit came from the Neal Industries information from the solved problem. That's where that figure is coming from. Next, we want to calculate the overtime production cost, and we take the number of pairs of jeans that are going to be produced through overtime hours, which is 16 million pairs, times 60 cents. And again, that 60 cents is the normal wage rate per pair of jeans times 1.5. Since overtime is time and a half, we would multiply the 40 cents times 1.5, and that's where that 60 cents is coming from. So when we multiply that out, it also comes to 9,600,000. Next, we want to compute inventory cost, and to do that, our total inventory throughout the period, the 4 quarters, is 4 million pairs. And we're going to multiply that times 10 cents, which that information was given to us in the Neal Industries information. When we do that, we get 400,000. We had no hiring or firing costs because we're maintaining a stable workforce. So when we add up all of our costs, our total cost is 19,600,000. So I hope that this helps you. The other 2 problems that you have to do, a couple of hints for problem 4. Make sure that you see that the company wants to maintain 40 units of inventory, and that is what they start with. I think that will help you out there. For problem 6, make sure that you do 3 separate forecasts. One is going to be a level production plan. One will be a chase plan using overtime, and one will be a chase plan using a changing workforce level. So you'll have 3 different plans that you'll need to compute production costs for. Again, I hope that this was helpful for you. Thanks a lot.